Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope you are doing well wherever you're watching. For those of you that tuned in yesterday, I'm glad to say that the temperature in London has dropped from the horrendous 105 degrees Fahrenheit down to a much more balmy kind of high 80s, low 90s. It's still warm, but we're getting through it. And that's important because we've got a long day today, because tonight is Alexa Live, which is Amazon's annual developer conference for those of us that work in the voice and conversational AI space, and particularly focused on building things like Alexa Skills, working with Alexa Skills Kit on creating content, and also integration into devices. So I thought what I'd do is come on before the event this evening and do a little bit of Q&A, maybe take some questions from you guys about what you want to see from this year's event. So if you've got any suggestions, and if you're watching live, then would love it if you would put those in the chat below so that I can answer them as we go. And then we'll also dig into some of my predictions and some of the things that I want to see coming out of this year's Alexa Live event. So for the next 10 minutes or so here, that's what we're going to do. So if you've got any suggestions that you want to see, then drop them in the chat below, and I'll be picking up on those. And I've also just dropped a link into the chat below this video if you want to go and register for Alexa Live yourself. We partnered with Amazon again this year, and we've got a couple of projects that will be featured in the show later on today. I can't tell you what they are yet, because that's all under the embargo until the event lifts. So I'm excited that the team at Vixen have had a couple of projects again featured this year. We've done this a couple of years now, last year with a couple of projects for brands like McDonald's and Lysol, for something called Centerphone, which was a feature, and also some of the in-skill shopping stuff, which was exciting. And this year we've got a couple of other new bits and pieces. So we do know a little bit about what's coming, but I can't talk about it too much. But there's awful a lot that we don't know that's going to come down the pipe. And so I thought I'd jump on and have some thoughts about some of that. So I mentioned the event. It is called Alexa Live 2022, and it starts this evening for us in the UK, or the morning on the West Coast at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And it's going to feature lots of great content, so definitely worth getting in. I'm particularly excited to see what the team, particularly Natakia's team, leading out kind of on customer experience, is going to have when it comes to that. But this covers all aspects of the event. And so I think the big thing for us is going to be kind of what comes out of this keynote. So I think we'll definitely pay attention to that. There's some really interesting content here from the guys about Matter. If you don't know what Matter is, it's the new standard that's going to help us manage all of that smart home tech that maybe you've got connected to your Amazon Echo devices around the home. And then we're going to kind of dig into this whole idea about what it means to have an ambient home, and kind of a lot of this kind of smart watch and smart devices. And it's really interesting because there's always a bit of focus on hardware at these events, even though they are developer events. And I think that we see that particularly because this year we know that people are using their voice on more and more devices than ever before, from our own study, which is the Voice Consumer Index. And so here is the daily plug for, if you haven't yet downloaded the Voice Consumer Index, you can do so. Go to this QR code and download it for yourself. It's free, and you can go and do that now, perhaps. I'll just give you a second. Good. Okay, back to the content. So the Voice Consumer Index has told us this year that people are using their voices on many more devices than they ever have done before, and as a result we know that we are going to see a lot more from Amazon on this. So let's take a look. We've got kind of focus here coming up on smartwatches, smart homes, and smart TVs, and I think we see this as a growing trend of people thinking about these multimodal experiences. Where can I use my voice on different types of devices, both in the home, TVs being an obvious one, and outside of the home as well. Things like being able to do things in the business, things like being able to, in business context, things like being able to use your smartwatch and other devices when we're out and about, or connected headphones and things like that. So yeah, interested to see kind of what's going to come this afternoon from the event today. Now, Amazon have already begun to kind of tease out a few different kind of stories. We've seen a couple of things leak. Here's a report from our friends at VoiceBot about some of the kind of new content they've released. This new Samuel Jackson trivia quiz, and some Fire TV content that you can now access with your voice. So you can now ask Alexa on a Fire TV to show me my stuff, for example. It's going to pull through more from the library tab, obviously, of the newly updated Amazon Prime Video interface, which I'm sure many of you are now seeing on your connected TVs, wherever you're watching on them, or even on smart displays if you use it on the Echo Show. That's all getting a lot of enhancement right now, so expect to see them talking a little bit more about Prime Video and integrations around that. And then also this Jackson trivia quiz is a kind of an extension of what we've already seen with a lot of Amazon making these these kind of first-party unique voices and celebrity voices. So I think we're definitely going to see more examples of that, either in skills or maybe some more first-party stuff. Who knows? So let's see what kind of comes this afternoon, but excited to see where that goes. Now, in terms of kind of some predictions and stuff I'd like to see, I think we've seen in the industry a couple of moves, particularly in this developer space for people making voice applications in particular. There's been some changes afoot. Most recently, Google announcing that they are now sunsetting the Google Actions, conversational actions framework, which historically has kind of been its parity to the Alexa skill, which allows us to build essentially custom applications for voice platforms using their APIs and their skills kit. So Google has recently taken that feature out. Here's just a report here from Android Central about it. But obviously, if you want more information about that, get in touch. We can help with kind of migrating your actions. But these are going to get sunsetted next year. And I think that actually this is going to prompt a kind of opposite response from the guys on the Amazon side, because they are now the single player in that kind of custom voice application space. So I think we're going to see way more in terms of flagships being created, some much more rich experiences coming to Alexa Skill Kit this year. And we're excited to see kind of what new features get released into developer preview today and ultimately come into general availability for us to build on behalf of clients and customers in the coming weeks and months. But we're excited to kind of see where that goes. And I think that we're going to see actually that this is going to prompt a move by them to really double down on skills. It's the first opportunity that they've had to do that. So yeah, again, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about what's going to happen at the Alexa Live conference later on. And again, would love your comments. Let's just refresh the feed on my screen here so I can just take a couple of your comments here. Hi, Paul. Nice to see you. Obviously, ex-Amazonian himself. We've got João Paulo as well. That's great. Thanks for being here. So yeah, I think we're going to definitely see some more interesting stuff coming at Alexa Live this afternoon. Now, there's some other kind of updates going on around the web right now, which I think are particularly interesting, and one of those is this announcement from YouTube integrating e-commerce shopping features with a partnership through their work with Shopify. And I think this is where things could get really quite tasty in the future for some of these kind of first-party integrations. We're seeing YouTube beginning here to add that kind of in-skill shopping now. In-app shopping on the YouTube app and on the YouTube for web. Now, of course, obviously, this is a direct response to the massive success that TikTok have had in recent months with the TikTok Shop. I made my first TikTok Shop purchase the other week. I bought some $3 sandals to see how they turned out. They were kind of the Yeezy foam runner knockoffs. They were okay, but they did turn up and they cost £3. Now, I'm not particularly condoning that model of drop shipping right now for all of the environmental implications. That was really a proof of concept, but this gets interesting. So yeah, we're going to see here Google begin to implement this this partnership with Shopify, and I think what gets really tasty when it gets to this is that if we begin to see creators and merchants on YouTube being able to kind of have that that purchase mechanic directly embedded into their content, I think that we're going to see more of this type of thing bleed over into functionality from Google Assistant, for example, being able to just make shoppable video advertising happen essentially, but with our voices. None of us want to be fumbling around with the remote to get this stuff done. So with this new integration, perhaps we see in near course, maybe some new features coming, perhaps being able to shop directly from a YouTube video. Not here right now, but with Shopify's integration in the back end and that fulfillment partner there, I think that that's really has some potential. And so, coming back to what might we see from the Amazon team this afternoon, no mention here yet about shopping from that content, but we do have a lot of focus on TVs. We've got a lot of focus on kind of connected kit and trying to kind of actually make business work. Also, this whole piece around richer skills with APL, that's the Amazon presentation language. It's the kind of multimodal kind of way of building Alexa skills for screen-based devices. So the more that we have focus on the screen-based devices, the more opportunities there are to make those into commercial opportunities, right? Depending on what content you're watching. Think particularly about like new form factors. Let's just go grab a kind of Echo Show 15 to kind of show you what that looks like. I'm sure many of you have looked at these and potentially thought about buying them yourself. This new form factor, this big screen, right? This big Echo 15 screen that you can stick up on your wall in the kitchen or the living room and now begin to watch YouTube on it, watch Netflix on it, watch Amazon Prime Video on it. This gives us the display in the home that many people might want to shop from. So I wonder if we're going to see some more of that. So those are my predictions and thoughts. If you're watching live, would love your comments on this. We would, are you excited about the event today? What are you looking for? What do you want to see? If you're watching, drop some kind of like, comment, or follow on here, just so I know who's watching. It's always helpful to understand. But yeah, do you think that this is gonna kind of change the game? Have Amazon got a lot of work to do this year, or are they just leading the way because they're essentially the only player in the market, the only horse in the race? Would love your thoughts and comments on that. I mentioned before, if you want to dig into some of this stuff around voice tech and really understand the opportunities better, the best thing you can do for your own self is go and download the Voice Consumer Index. It's available at this QR code right here. And if you go and do that, you can download it for free. Kind of over 30 pages worth of great graphs and charts and stats that essentially will unpack what's going on in the world of voice right now. So go and grab that from here. You'll also find it in a link below this video, which I'm going to drop into the chat as I did yesterday, right here, right now. Oh gosh, it's so nice to be doing this when it's a bit cooler. So go and grab that for now. If you haven't done so already, join the newsletter so that you know when we're going to have upcoming webinars and content, and would love it if you would give that a read. It's free. Why not? So that's it. Alexa Live coming up this evening, 6 p.m. in the UK, 9 a.m. I think on the West Coast Pacific time, something like that. Tune in, and I've dropped the link, as I say, below the video if you want to go register for Alexa Live, so hopefully you can get yourself on and watch some of the content yourself. But that's what I wanted to chat about this afternoon. I hope that you found this useful. Hope you found it interesting. Hope you're doing okay, wherever you are, wherever you're watching. Hope you're well. Hope you're not too hot. It's been hot around the world this week. Global warming, it's with us. It's something we've got to do something about. So, thoughts and feelings below the video, please, and on what we're going to do about it. Hopefully we'll all make our own way in the world and solve the problem, eh? Good. Okay, I've entered the rambling portion now of the live stream. For those of you who have watched before, you know that this is the bit where literally anything can happen. But today, unfortunately, I have to go to another meeting, so that's going to end now. Thanks for being here. Download the report. I mean, it's free. Why wouldn't you do so? And if you want questions answered about it, want to schedule a walkthrough session for your brand, team, organization, or anything in between, drop me an email, info@vixenlabs.co, or slide into the DMs here on LinkedIn or YouTube if you're watching this after the fact once I've uploaded it over there. And we'll be more than happy to help. Okay, that's it. Thanks for hanging out for these 14 minutes together. Bless you. Be well.